Hey guys, Buffing Game back today, bringing out a video for our favorite weapon series for our Warzone weapons, and today we're going to cover a different M13 build that I haven't really covered in the past. This is something I played around with in the beginning of Warzone a lot, using the 300 Blackout rounds, and I really liked it a lot. Back when the game first came out, I used it a lot in trios and found it very, very effective, very high damage, able to take out multiple enemies with just the 130 round magazine. So I wanted to circle back and play with it again and see how viable it is. Play with this in solos as well as duos lately, and I really do like this build a lot. So I have a nice solo win here that I'll walk you through at the end of the video, and I'll show you how to build this weapon, the attachments I'm running with it, and then we'll jump into that gameplay, and I'll walk you through the win here for a nice 6 or 7 kill solo win, and I'll also walk you through the end circle, what I'm thinking. It's a very interesting end circle, how I play it. Show you how to do circle rotation if you're having trouble with that as well. So let's go ahead now and back out. We'll take a look at the weapon, and then we'll jump into the gameplay. So backing out, you can see the final design for the weapon here. Now, I'm using a specific blueprint for this that I just purchased recently in store called the Sand Blaster, I believe it is. So let's go ahead back out. We'll look at the actual blueprint itself. So I am using the Sand Blaster. This is part of the Battle Hardened 2 pack, I believe it is. That keeps coming up in my store on and off. I believe it's way back from Season 1 or even prior to that. And it came with this as well as an AX50 blueprint, which I never really wanted at the time, although I always did like the way the M13 looked. And I finally broke down and got it since there was nothing really new in store, just recycled content, and I always did like the design of this. So you can see here, Sand Blaster blueprint. We haven't covered this in a blueprint video, but we'll review the actual attachments I'm going to use for this build here. So we'll go ahead and back out now and go to our weapon that we have pre-built. So if I go ahead and strip this down again, you can use obviously any M13 with this particular weapon. So first off, for the barrel attachment, you can see to match the blueprint here, obviously, as well as to give us the best attachments for what we're going to be using. We're going to want that Tempest Marksman barrel. So this is the longest barrel available for the M13 or the SIG MCX Virtus Marksman build in real life. So we're going to go ahead and select this as a 16-inch barrel on this weapon, which is the default barrel length on the weapon in real life for the MCX. This is going to give us damage range, bullet velocity, as well as recoil control. The cons being ADS speed and movement speed. So we'll go ahead and select that. Obviously, we have our Sand Blaster blueprint variation there. Now, the tactical suppressor is what comes with this, and this has a really nice look to it. It maintains that nice camo design, but for Warzone, really, especially for this build, we're going to want to maximize damage at range because of the bullets we're going to be using with the 300 Blackout. So we're going to want the monolithic suppressor. It's going to assist, obviously, with sound suppression, keep you off the radar, but also the damage at range, which is going to be key here. Cons being the ADS speed and aim walking steadiness. Go ahead and select that. Now we're going to skip out on the laser for the optic. I'm going to be running the 4x flipped optic on this weapon. I really like aesthetically how it looks. Plus, just the ability to toggle from the holographic for the EOTech as well as that 4x flip for longer range engagements actually does come in handy a lot with this weapon. So we'll go ahead and select that. We're going to go with the base stock. We'll skip out on the perk as well as the rear grip. And we're going to go with the ammunition here. We're going to want that 300 Blackout 30 round magazine. So the only downside here is that it is only 30 round versus your basic 50 or the 60 round magazines of the 5.56 by 45 millimeter NATO. But again, 300 Blackout round, it's a larger round. So that you can see here in the description, conversion kit to use 300 Blackout ammunition. It's a higher caliber with lower muzzle velocity. These subsonic rounds pack more energy over greater distance. So the pros here being damage at range, which is going to go along with our barrel and our suppressor. It's going to help that. No visible tracers. So if I'm firing suppressed, no one's going to be able to see the tracer rounds going through. You can sometimes, if someone's firing suppressed, you'll see a tracer or two go by, and they will not be able to detect that. No enemy skulls as well, which is good. So the cons, bullet velocity, but we're already making up for that with some of the attachments, and recoil control, which will mitigate elsewhere. So we'll go ahead and select the 300 Blackout rounds. And again, these come with the weapon in real life. It does fire in real life, the 5.56 by 45, as well as the 300 Blackout. Now, for the underbarrel attachment, to best mitigate the extra recoil with this, we're actually going to want, you could go with something like a Commando foregrip, but for these rounds, I find it kind of key that you really want a Merc foregrip here to best control the recoil on this. So for the pros here, recoil control, obviously you can help fight that vertical muzzle climb on the weapon. Hip fire accuracy, which really isn't too useful, but it does help control the recoil better than the Ranger foregrip. Cons, again, aim walking movement speed and ADS speed. Now I'm going to go with something like tank blueprint here just to give us that greenish type camo on there. It looks pretty nice. So that is our final build for the MCX Virtus, the SIG MCX Virtus, using the 300 Blackout rounds on this weapon. Again, this is a solo build that I typically use, also in duos. I think it's really effective. The only downside is that you do only have a 30 round magazine, so you are going to need to really be able to reload. You'll only be able to take out typically one enemy at a time with this before you need to reload. So just keep that in mind. So this is the final design. Again, we'll go ahead now and jump into the gameplay, and I'll walk you through this solo win. Okay, jumping into the gameplay here. First off to start, this is a weird solo game. I landed at train and really didn't have to move much. A very slow game. I haven't really seen many people at all so far. And right now, there was a firefight over here on my mark you can see on the map, and there's a car there still. So somebody won that firefight, and I spot this guy. My plan was to go over there and see what I could see. So he's trying to get into this vehicle. I'm going to mount here on this railing and try and put some fire on him. And just see the effectiveness of these rounds here. I'm just tap firing, trying to get him, but I'm able to disable the vehicle there. Obviously, he's going to bail out of there. So what I'm going to do here is just reposition and see if I can loop around on train roof and spot him later on here. So that vehicle ends up blowing up. Again, now I'm looping around train, fast forward a little bit. I've spotted quite a few guys. There's some over here at gas. So I'm going to pop a UAV and just see who's around. We also have these choppers up, which is causing quite a lot of noise. So you just got to be mindful. And right there, I spot a guy. So I'm not sure what this guy's doing there. He showed up on my UAV. And I was able to take him out pretty easily. I wasn't sure if he was on the roof or down low, and obviously I spotted him there. Pretty easy kill. Then we have a guy parachuting here, and just see the effectiveness of these rounds. Pretty fast-firing rounds. Again, bullet velocity is a little bit down, but we're making up for that with the barrel on this. Just tap-firing, I'm able to get good hits on him, but obviously the 30-round magazine, I don't want to waste all my ammo on that guy either. So fast forward a little bit further here. Again, these choppers are still going on. You can hear a lot of the fire. And there's a king up there on train roof still. And he's engaging someone below him that came out of train, or excuse me, the gas station over there. So I'm just trying to reposition myself and figure out where everyone is. I know where the king is because he's on the map. But those guys that he's shooting down below, there's at least 2 guys around there. One pushed into gas earlier, and obviously someone just came out. So what I'm going to do is flank around, try and get this king. You can see him there climbing up that ladder. I didn't have a clean shot to take him out, so I'm going to reposition on his flank. He has no idea I'm coming. Again, he's labeled on the map there, so I'm able to easily track him. I know right where he's going, what rooftop he's on. And here I spot him, so I'm going to mount. And you can see I'm able to break his armor in about 15 shots pretty handily. So what I'm going to do now, just make sure I reload. I'm going to try and reposition and push him. Keeping an eye on where he is on the map, making sure he doesn't come back up on that end of the roof and try and cut me off, which would have been the smarter play on him, is to take cover on part of that railing there and mount on me, but he didn't do that. So what he's doing is, I'm not sure if he's down off the roof or if he's still on the roof, so I'm just going to throw some C4, try and see if I can gauge where he is, then slowly peek here, and you see him right there behind that wall. So I'm just going to peek, and I'm able to take him out right there. That's where that 4-time slip comes in handy also. Even though it was a close quarters, I was able to just get precision shots on target there. And able to take out that king pretty easily and get the extra money for that. So fast forward now, again, very slow game here until the end circle. Now, what I did is I pushed out a train, just trying to check my left and right and make sure no one's pushing up on me. I'm in a really bad spot right now. I need to rotate. So what I'm going to do is rotate to the narrow side of the circle. I see a guy over on that hill. So what I'm going to try and do is rotate, work the wall, and work behind him. Now you can see I'm pushing towards the narrow side of the circle. So the plan here is to rotate in behind somebody that's already in position and try and come up on their flank, which is what I'm going to do here. So I've already pretty thoroughly checked my right before I started pushing over here. So what I'm going to do is just kind of carefully move over, make sure no one else is camping around on this side of the circle, and try and get position on this guy. I'm not sure where he went, so I'm just going to check my surroundings. I can see he obviously killed the guy there, and then I spot him. But I didn't engage right there because he does have tactical advantage on me. I'm right in the open. He has good hill cover there. If I were to not kill him right away, he would easily have tactical advantage. You could throw a C4 and use that hill as cover. So what I'm going to do is just creep up until I have a clean kill on him. And you can see right there, it would take him out pretty quick. Now, he did have self-res, so it took the whole 30-round magazine to kill him. But again, we'll fast forward again. What I'm just doing is positioning, moving up in the circle, trying to see where people are. You see the marks on my map. I'm marking rocks kind of to try and find hard cover within the new circle before I'm moving up. So I'm just making these marks to see what's in bounds, what isn't in bounds, and where I can move. I want to get hard cover. And here I see slight movement. And again, there's a guy that was creeping up over there who, again, kind of had the same idea as me. Luckily, he didn't check this way because I was pretty exposed from that side. So able to take him out pretty quick. Took about 15 bullets since he didn't have self-res. He went down pretty quick. I'm just going to move up now and check and make sure he doesn't have any kill streaks or something that I can take there, which would help me out. And now, again, what I've done is marked spots in the circle, try and see where I can move to. I'm going to move up, try and get on this rock for now. Try and stay on the edge of the circle. I don't want to position myself too far in the middle. I don't want to get flanked. And I'm just trying to see how many people are left. At this point, there's 4 guys left. There's a firefight over here. So I'm just going to scope in, see what I can see. I can see at least 2 guys over there. It looks like someone won this firefight, so I'm going to wait till I can easily get him. And again, you can see the recoil right there with the 300 Blackout rounds. It's actually pretty intense. I probably should have just tap fired, but I'm able to take him out, get back on target, and kill him. So fast forward a couple seconds later, there's only 2 other people left besides me. So again, I'm just trying to rotate up the circle. I know no one else is on my right, so I know they have to be over here on my left behind this hill somewhere is these last 2 guys. So I'm just going to try and creep up, use what I have here for hill cover, and again, try and be mindful on my right side. But unless someone else is rotating from my 12 o'clock to my 3 o'clock, I shouldn't run into anybody, and everybody should really be to my west or directly in front of me by where that quad is on the map. So at this point, I'm just trying to wait for this circle to move and see if I hear shots, which I will hear in a second. So you just watch. So there's shots. Someone's showing up on the minimap because they aren't suppressed, so I'm just going to move up for the kill. I know whereabouts they are, and there's the last guy, able to easily take him out and win the game right there, just third partying. And unfortunately for him, he wasn't suppressed. But either way, that fire, I know that there's someone over there. So, and I obviously had an idea. I cleared out my 3 o'clock on my right side. So the only place anybody could be was really directly over that hill, which is where they were. So able to get a nice victory. Again, this is a really good weapon. I wouldn't really recommend it anything over duos unless you're running with a good squad, because you really are only going to be able to take out 1 person per magazine. I have been able to take out 2 people before, but again, you really need to be cautious about how you use your ammunition with this round, since you only are limited to a 30-round magazine. But the damage at range are really nice. I really do like this build overall. Again, this is the MCX Virtus in real life, the M13, using the 300 Blackout rounds. Gives you more damage at range. You're just limited magazine ammo capacity to the base 30 round, but it is a heavier round and it's going to deal quite a bit of damage. You're able to break a lot of armor very, very quickly with this round, which is a big bonus versus the base 5.56 by 45. So let me know down below what you guys think of this. Nice 6-kill dub there with the MCX Virtus, and I'll leave you guys with that. Until next time, Buffner Gaming, out.